Kyrk, thanks for joining us. A very busy time at Motherwell Football Club. Obviously the AGM was last week. A number of topics were discussed. Let's start with the financial results and the finances at the football club. And with all this chat around ongoing projects, including a new training facility, can you give supporters a little bit of an update on all of that?
Yes, we finished the financial year on a loss of 263,000. However, that was after significant financial adjustments of around about £600,000. Those were in relation to depreciation of assets such as the stadium, assets such as plant in and around the club, and COVID loan repayments as well. Obviously a historical hangover there. So overall finances of the club are in a pretty good place. I think we're taking some really good steps to close that operational gap as well. So that side of things is feeling pretty positive for us. Training ground, I think, has been a significant bit of buzz about in terms of what's going on there. I think it's been probably the worst kept secret in North Lanarkshire for a little while just now. But I'm going to give that its own place. I think there's shortly to come a conclusion of a major bit of work on that, together with a subcommittee of the executive board. So I'll leave the guys to announce that as and when the time is right, and hopefully that will be very soon.
Obviously we've spoken about training ground, but also there is a bit of work going on regarding Fir Park. What can you tell us about that? So
in September of last year, we partnered with an architectural and civil engineering firm to assess Fir Park, the kind of longevity of it. Obviously, no secret to anybody, it's an ageing stadium, ageing facilities. That feasibility study came back to us last week. It's quite a significant bit of work. Effectively what that looks at is three options for the future of the football club. One of those is redevelopment of the Phil stand, in terms of building a new stand here that has new conferencing events facilities that allows us to effectively make sure that this is a stand that's in use 7 days a week and allows us to generate income from that. And from there carrying out other remediation works in and around the stadium. The second option within it is a kind of wider redevelopment of Fir Park. So that is, how do we look at the other stands? The idea actually was to fill in the corners in the stadium, make sure we've got a bit more of a kind of enclosed space. So it's a kind of bigger development, as I say, and obviously upgrading facilities in the other stands in and around the stadium. And the last option is looking at a new facility, custom built for the football club and for moving things forward. What I would say is that these are long-term projects. Nothing is on the imminent, agenda that we're planning to move or anything like that. For us, what it's really about is about setting probably a strategic direction. So we know, okay, what is our direction of travel as a club? It allows us to be smart in terms of where we're spending our money, in terms of staging things, phasing projects, and ultimately, making sure that when we do make a decision here, and we are in a place to kind of announce and kind of be a little bit more in detail of what that feasibility study is looking like, we want to engage with fans on that as well. That's not a decision that we take without consulting the fans. There's a lot of legacy here, there's a lot of memories in and around Fir Park for myself and thousands of other people as well. So we won't take that decision without consulting people, and it's really important that we get everybody on the same page with that direction of travel. Other than that, we've been working on other projects to upgrade the stadium. There's been a lot of cosmetic work, I think, that people will have seen to try and upgrade kind of day-to-day experience or match-day experience, certainly, to be here. We've just completed a new bit of work on a new bit of groundscaping between the Cooper and the Hunter stand. Effectively what that becomes is a multi-purpose space where we can partner with community trust, we can partner with disabled supporters, heritage, on pop-up events and different activations on match days as well. So I think good things going on, some longer term projects and some shorter ones as well.
You talk about the longer term projects, let's come back to present day. Obviously on the pitch, we could be sitting here all day talking about the various statistics that the club are breaking and this group of players are breaking, but ultimately top six already achieved, sitting fourth in the league table. Where does a finish like that leave this football club in terms of the near future?
The performances have probably been the best of my lifetime. I would say this season, I think many of us as Motherwell fans would say the same thing. We've been delighted with how the guys have done on the pitch, and I guess the kind of general atmosphere around the club is pretty positive just now, which is amazing. It's also incredible to see that kind of start to translate now into bigger crowds coming back to Fir Park, and that's been a massive success factor for us too. Probably the thing I'm personally, happiest about that we've managed to achieve and bringing those crowds and that excitement back to the club. But on the top six finish, of course, financially for us, it's a big boost. I think it's, again, pretty transparent. We budget to finish 10th each season and to exit both cups at the first hurdle. Obviously, we've reached a semi-final this season. Didn't go the way we wanted it to, but has a financial benefit to the club. And achieving top 6 now is obviously really special for us financially too. It's the first time in a few years that we've managed to do that. It allows us to plan already for next season in terms of allocation of budget, allocation of funds, and hopefully just be that one step ahead. So it's a really exciting time. Big congratulations to the guys and all that hard work, and we'll see where it takes us.
You obviously briefly mentioned about supporters there. The club obviously had their half-season tickets put on sale as they usually do, but there was also an added incentive there or initiative rather, of a 5-game match package. Was the take-up healthy on that, and is that something the club are looking to explore maybe more frequently going forward?
100%. So the half-season tickets were up about 40% on last year, so we sold just over 200 half-season tickets this year, which was excellent for us. We sold just over 100 of the 5-game match packages as well, which was, again, super. So I think for us it's just been about really progressive in terms of our thinking on that. How do we attract people to get back into the stadium? We've been working extremely hard together with the Community Trust on activations with schools, community groups, to get people into the stadium, to get kids and families into Fir Park as well. So I think as we go forward, we want to make sure that we, again, just be innovative and a little bit forward and progressive thinking on what we're doing there to get people back into the stadium and get those crowds boosted and get people excited about coming to the football.
The success this season has obviously been because of the staff and, most importantly, the players doing it every single weekend. Obviously, when a team has success like we've had, there's obviously a lot of spotlight and a lot of transfer speculation. In January, the manager was very firm in his stance in press conferences, saying the players will not be going anywhere. That turned out to be the case. I mean, how much success can you take away from that?
I think the last 3 windows for the football club have been extremely important. We're obviously quite a new board. If I think back to January 2025, we had the situation with Lennon. There was a lot of speculation, a lot of pressure, from outside the football club at that point, anticipation that we would make a sale at that point. We decided to hold firm, in the belief that it was the right thing to do for the football club, but the right thing to do for Lennon as well. And we worked to secure a really good deal for everybody involved in that. Obviously, we then executed that over the summer period. At the same time there, we were able to reinvest a little bit in terms of bringing in some real quality to, supplement and boost, some really, really excellent players that we already have in the building. Some of whom have had amazing seasons this season, for sure. And I think, this January has been a continuation of that strategy. It was important for us that we, kind of held firm. We wanted to finish the season strongly. I think what we've got now is an environment where players can thrive. They're developing, hopefully, personally, professionally. And it's really important that, we bring in ambitious players to the football club, players that want to come to Motherwell, do well, potentially go on to other things. That's part of our model for players, for staff as well. There's nothing wrong with that. That's, again, part of the football club, part of our identity. But I think when we do sell players, or it is time for people to move on, it's important that we as a club get their correct value for that. There's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes in terms of facilities, staff, all these other kind of added factors. And I think it's important that we have a model where that is recognised and that hard work is recognised. So listen, we don't want to stand in anybody's way. We want to be a platform for players, but we also want to make sure that we grow and develop the football club as well.
One talking point, which is maybe on a slightly negative scale, has been the pitch here at Fir Park. Also, I know you explained a little bit of this at the AGM last week, but for those who maybe didn't see those minutes, could you just enlighten us a little bit? Yeah,
so I think it's been a bit of a disappointing one for us for sure, but we're well aware of it. Between the 23rd of December and the 3rd of January, we actually played the most home matches in Scotland. Obviously at that point, if cast your mind back to it, we had a particularly kind of cold and wet spell over that period. So there was a combination of factors there, which effectively was we were forced to put covers onto the pitch to protect it, at the same time turn the heaters on to try and keep the pitch from freezing. Combination of those two factors unfortunately affected the roots in the pitch. So listen, it's something we've learned from for sure, and there's a lot of lessons to take away from that. The team are working extremely hard now to remedy that problem. Fortunately now we've got a small 3-week window before we've got our next home match. So there's hopefully a little bit of an opportunity for the pitch to start to regenerate, and a lot of work going on to make sure that happens. But flicking back to that idea of infrastructure, we've got an ageing boiler, which is about the least sexy thing you could say in a football interview. But all of these kind of practical things are part of considerations in regards to the stadium and facilities as well. So Yeah, I think obviously the pitch is definitely not where we wanted it to be, but something we've got to improve on, something we will improve on, and make sure the product that people are seeing on the pitch is as good as it can be.
Just finally, Kyrk, 10 games left of what's been a remarkable season. Do you have a message for the wider fan base on what's left of this wonderful campaign?
Yeah, I think just back the boys as much as possible. One of the really nice things for us this season has been that actually the percentage of season ticket holders coming to home matches has jumped from about 65% to over 75%, and just those incremental increases of season ticket holders coming back to the stadium, getting the community activated and making sure we've got significant numbers coming through that, and just general excitement around the club has been brilliant. We had a massive home support here on Saturday, which was incredible. So yeah, if you can, come along, back the boys home and away. We take one match at a time. We'll see where it ends the season. But it's been an exciting one so far, and I think hopefully for the football club in general, this is the start of something. We were quite clear that we had a model that we wanted to work to in terms of identity, in terms of playing identity, and no matter what happens in the future, it's important we continue that journey as a football club and make sure that the product is exciting, fans are excited and want to come back.
Thanks for your time, Kyrk.
Thank you.